Welcome to Jam-Packed, Business Made Easy with AI. My name is Robin Anderson, and I'm the CEO of Jam AI. At Jam AI, we have a community where we are training thousands of small business owners every week on how to use applicable and everyday AI. In this podcast, we're focusing on the human side of AI. We're interviewing members of our community and understanding how they're using AI to save more time and make more money. We also practice what we preach. Every Monday, we're generating a podcast from our AI agent. You're going to love it. We have way too much content and not enough time to record, so it's helping us get this information to you. We'll buckle up, take some notes, and listen to what we're about to tell you. And if you want to know more, you can join us free for 7 days in Club Jam by going to jamout.ai for more information.
If you are out there hustling right now, whether you're running a small business, managing a marketing team, or, just driving sales, you probably feel like there simply aren't enough hours in the day.
Oh, absolutely not. There never are.
Right. You're juggling lead gen, you're scrambling to create content, you're trying to nail down your product strategy, and honestly, you might be bordering on exhaustion.
It's the ultimate modern business trap.
Yeah, and I know you've probably been told 100 times this week that AI is the answer, but looking at our source stack for today's deep dive, it is incredibly clear that not all AI is created equal.
Definitely not. You don't have the time or the energy for another shiny, confusing tech toy that takes 3 weeks to learn.
Exactly, and delivers absolutely zero return on your investment. You want actionable tools. You want things that drive immediate ROI, things that actually save you time.
And most importantly, you want to stop wasting your precious effort on ideas that simply do not sell.
Yes, you are working harder than ever, but if you're using the wrong tools, or worse, if you're building the wrong things entirely, all that hustle just leads straight to burnout.
You need leverage, not just another app to manage.
100%. And that is why we are dedicating this entire deep dive to a really fascinating ecosystem of tools that we extracted from our sources today. We've been combing through this massive stack of software documentation, tech reviews, strategic business guides.
And they all keep pointing to a suite of distinct AI solutions that, interestingly enough, all share the exact same name, Novi.
Novi, right? So our mission today is to cut through the noise and to map out exactly how you can use the specific ecosystem of tools to do 3 massive things for your business. First, validate your ideas before you spend a single dime.
Crucial.
Second, automate your customer outreach so you can actually protect your peace and get some sleep. And third, utterly dominate the new wave of AI-driven e-commerce.
It's a really compelling stack of sources because we're looking at several different platforms under that Novi umbrella. Market research tools, rapid video creation, data optimization for retail, even outbound calling automation.
They serve very different functions.
They do, but when you look at them together, they represent this complete end-to-end blueprint for running a leaner, significantly more profitable operation.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with the absolute biggest, most heartbreaking pain point every entrepreneur faces. Building something that nobody actually wants.
Oh, it hurts just thinking about it.
It does. And I want to give you some tough love right now. The data from our sources shows that 42% of startups fail for one incredibly simple reason. There is no market need.
42%.
Almost half. That means half of the people out there pouring their blood, sweat, tears, and life savings into a business are failing because they're solving a problem that nobody actually cares about.
Right. Small business owners, sauce entrepreneurs, they are wasting massive amounts of budget on completely unviable concepts.
And getting distracted by flashy new coding tools instead of testing the waters first.
That is the exact pivot point where so many founders go wrong. People fall in love
With their own ideas.
Yes. They think, I have this brilliant concept. Let me go into my cave and spend 6 months building a prototype. But the strategic guides in our sources argue that you need to flip that entire model upside down.
You have to validate the demand before you write a single line of code or manufacture a single physical product.
Exactly. And that is where the first tool in this ecosystem comes in. Novi, specifically the platform located at usinovi.com.
Think of this as the ultimate, brutally honest gut check for your business ideas. It stops you from guessing and forces you to start validating.
And the process they outline in the documentation is honestly incredibly straightforward.
It really is. You start with a simple one-page canvas. You just define the core problem you're trying to solve, your proposed solution, who your target audience is, and who your competitors are. That's it.
Just those 4 things.
Yeah. You take that one pager, you input it into Novi, and then you pull in external data streams like Google Trends. Then you just step back and let the AI process it.
What's fascinating here is how the system moves far beyond basic data aggregation into actual advanced reasoning. It isn't just giving you a search volume chart and wishing you luck.
Right, it's not just a fancy spreadsheet.
No, it is actively looking at complex economic indicators and market signals. So, for example, it doesn't just look at how many people are searching for a freelance productivity app. It cross-references that search data with broader trends on remote work, signups on freelance platforms, even gig economy tax filings to measure actual purchasing intent.
That is wild.
It is. Then it generates scenario simulations and runs revenue forecasts based on the harsh market realities you fed into it. Furthermore, it generates these incredibly detailed visual competitive maps.
So you can literally see where your rivals are positioned.
And more importantly, where the gaps in the market are.
But wait, let me play devil's advocate for a second. How accurate can an AI simulation of a market really be? I mean, isn't it just guessing based on historical data? Markets change so fast. Can we really trust a dashboard to tell us if our life's work is a good idea?
That is a very fair question, and the reviews address this directly. The AI isn't a crystal ball, and it definitely doesn't replace talking to real humans.
Okay, good.
What it does do is dramatically shrink your margin of error. It points out glaring red flags that you might be too emotionally invested to see. It highlights the blank spaces on the competitive map where the math suggests you have the highest probability of winning.
And we have the hard proof from the tech reviews in our stack that this actually works in practice. There was this incredible real-world anecdote about a productivity app that went through this exact process.
Oh, the general audience app?
Yes, the founders thought they had something for everyone.
Yeah.
But they ran their one-page canvas through the AI's market analysis. The dashboard signals came back and essentially told them, no, the demand isn't broad, it's highly specific.
The AI suggested they pivot their entire marketing and product specifically to freelancers.
And they swallowed their pride, they listened to the data, they made the pivot before launching, and they hit 10,000 active users in their very first quarter.
Incredible. And there was another great case study in the documentation involving a company testing a virtual reality training tool.
Oh, right, the corporate one.
Yeah. By simulating outcomes and mapping their competitors, the AI helped them realize that the general corporate market they were targeting was completely saturated, largely unresponsive.
But the data revealed a massive validated need in the healthcare sector.
Exactly, driven by new compliance and training mandates. Shifting their target audience exclusively to healthcare based on that AI analysis, they were able to successfully secure their funding.
See, the actionable takeaway here is that you need to iterate your concept 2 or 3 times based on the AI's dashboard signals before you ever spend a dime on development. Let the AI find the optimal angle and then go validate that specific angle with real user feedback.
You're protecting your runway, and really, you're de-risking your entire life.
I absolutely love that. So we've solved the problem of building the wrong thing. Let's say you've used the AI, you found the gap, you validated your idea, and you know you have a winner. But the sources point out a fascinating irony. Once you have the right product, you suddenly hit a massive wall with content creation.
You need eyeballs.
You need eyeballs, and you're probably thinking, great, now I have to hire a video editor, a copywriter, and spend my entire weekend recording social media posts. How did the documentation suggest jumping that hurdle?
Right, because the content bottleneck is exactly where so many validated ideas go to die. You know what you want to sell, but consistently producing high-quality promotional content to get it in front of people is exhausting.
It is a grind.
The documentation for the next tool, AMiPhone Novi AI, positions it as a direct solution to that specific bottleneck. It's a text-to-video generator that completely bypasses the traditional, agonizing production cycle.
It's basically a full-scale production studio living right inside your browser. You just paste your text script in, select your visual styles, pick your AI voices, and you export a professional promotional video or explainer in minutes.
And it supports over 60 languages.
60. You can generate a massive multilingual social media campaign or run a dozen different ad variations to test what actually converts, all before you've even finished your morning coffee.
Which is incredibly powerful for scaling your marketing efforts without scaling your headcount.
Okay, but let me push back on that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Because if I'm generating a video in 2 minutes using an AI voice and AI visuals, isn't my audience going to spot that a mile away? Do the reviews, address the authenticity problem. People crave real human connection online right now.
They absolutely do, and the strategic guides are very clear on this limitation. You are not using this tool to film a heartfelt, deeply personal brand documentary. You are using it for top-of-funnel velocity. It is about volume and A/B testing. You use these generated videos to quickly test different hooks, different offers, and different value propositions across social media.
Ah, I see.
Once you see which AI-generated ad gets the highest click-through rate, then you take your budget and film a high-end, authentic human version of that specific winning message. It's a testing mechanism as much as a production tool.
That makes total sense. You use it to find the winning message fast. But getting eyes on your product through social media is only half the battle now, right? Especially if you're talking about physical goods.
Exactly. If we are talking about selling physical products, we have to talk about how the fundamental nature of e-commerce is changing beneath our feet. Generating videos for human beings on social media is no longer the only way to drive sales.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Let's talk about Novi Connect.
We are entering what the industry is calling the era of agentic commerce. If you're selling consumer packaged goods, things like cosmetics, packaged foods, cleaning supplies, on major retail platforms like Target or Sephora, human beings aren't the only ones browsing the virtual aisles anymore.
It's the AI.
AI shopping recommendations are rapidly becoming the new gatekeepers. Consumers are going to these retailers, and instead of scrolling through 50 pages of products, they are just asking the AI, find me a cruelty-free, hydrating face serum under $30.
And if the retailer's AI algorithm doesn't deeply understand their product's data, you simply do not exist. You don't get recommended. You are entirely invisible.
Precisely. Let's use an analogy to break this down. Think of the AI on Target's website like a highly analytical personal shopper. If a human personal shopper asks for a cruelty-free serum, you can just show them the little bunny logo on the back of your bottle. They see it, they understand it. But the AI shopper cannot see the bottle in the same way. It needs the digital equivalent of that bunny logo coded directly into your data feed. And that is exactly what Novi Connect is doing.
Wow.
For marketing professionals, ensuring your product is what we might call AI readable is now just as important as making the physical packaging appealing to human eyes.
So it's optimizing the data behind the scenes.
Yes. It surfaces verified data feeds and certifications, things like your sustainability claims, your exact ingredient transparency, your supply chain sourcing details, and it formats them perfectly so that the AI search algorithms on these massive retail platforms can instantly verify and trust your product over your competitors.
And the return on investment, the ROI on this is staggering. The tech guides we reviewed highlighted the actual numbers, and they blew my mind. By using Novi Connect to optimize your product data feeds specifically for the AI, companies are seeing their AI recommendation probability and selection rates increase by 230%.
Huge.
In some controlled tests, it was up to 257%. That is a massive competitive advantage just for making sure a machine can read your ingredients list correctly. You are effectively hacking the new e-commerce algorithms to put your product directly into the customer's cart.
It represents a fundamental shift in strategy. You are no longer just marketing to the end consumer. You have to market to the AI agent that the consumer has delegated their shopping to. If you master that dual marketing strategy, the scale is unprecedented.
Okay, so let's recap where we are. You have a validated product that the market actually wants. You have multilingual video ads running on social media to test your messaging. Your physical products are perfectly optimized so the e-commerce AI is recommending them to thousands of shoppers on autopilot.
Yeah.
What's left? Closing the deal. Closing the deal. And I want to speak directly to the solo operators out there, the salon owners, the real estate agents, the agency founders who are burning the candle at both ends, trying to answer every single phone call and reply to every text message. I know the feeling. I remember trying to do outbound calls for my first business. I'd stare at the phone for 20 minutes, hyping myself up just to leave a voicemail.
Oh, call reluctance is so real.
It is exhausting.
Yeah.
And you're losing leads because you are human, you get tired, and you have to sleep.
Lead qualification and outbound follow-up are where the absolute most friction happens for any small business. You do all this work to generate the interest, but following up consistently, calling prospects, dealing with rejection, booking the actual appointments, it requires a massive amount of manual labor.
It really does.
And if you're a solo operator, that administrative burden pulls you directly away from the high-value work of actually fulfilling your services or closing the final sale.
I was reading the documentation on this next part, and I was honestly a bit skeptical at first. It mentioned something called an AI front desk. Now, is this just another one of those automated phone menus that says press 1 for sales and endlessly frustrates customers, or is it actually doing the heavy lifting of a real sales team?
It's definitely the latter.
Enter the sales hustle savior, Novi AI Dialer, which the sources also refer to as my AI front desk.
This is about fully automating your outbound sales team with conversational AI, not just routing calls. The documentation breaks down a beautifully simple four-step pipeline. Step 1, you upload your list of leads. Step 2, you set your customized scripts. You tell the system exactly how you want the AI to talk to them, what tone to use, and what specific qualifying questions to ask.
Okay.
Step 3, the system completely automates the outbound phone calls and SMS text messages. It actually has conversations. And Step 4, it qualifies those prospects based on their answers and literally sets the appointments on your calendar for you.
It takes away all of that call reluctance. And there's some jargon in the sources I want to clarify here. They talk a lot about CRM tagging. A CRM is your customer relationship management software, basically your database of leads. What the AI dialer does is automatically handle your CRM tagging.
Which is a huge time saver.
Massive. So instead of you getting off a phone call and manually typing into your database that a lead is warm or needs follow-up in 2 weeks, the AI listens to the conversation it just had and automatically tags the lead for you in your system. It keeps your database perfectly organized without you lifting a finger.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this isn't just about saving a few minutes answering the phone. This is about completely restructuring your entire sales pipeline. You're taking the most repetitive, emotionally draining, time-consuming part of sales, the initial outreach and qualification, and you're handing it off to a system that never gets tired, never gets discouraged by a hang-up, and never forgets to follow up.
It just keeps going.
You are effectively cloning your best, most consistent sales pitch and deploying it at scale.
It really is like cloning yourself. And the sources also dive into these starter automations from Novi AI Solutions. If you're a solo operator, they have an entire starter pack designed just for you. You can automate your new client onboarding, your calendar scheduling, all of that CRM tagging we just talked about, and all your automated reminder notifications.
It's doing the busy work so you can focus on high-level strategy and actually closing the warm leads that the AI hands to you on a silver platter.
And because the system handles SMS text messaging seamlessly alongside voice calls, you are meeting the customer exactly where they prefer to communicate. You're responding instantly, which we know drastically increases conversion rates, without you ever having to manually pick up your phone while you're trying to eat dinner with your family.
That is the dream.
So what does this all mean? Let's take a step back and look at the entire journey we just mapped out from these sources. You are building an end-to-end automated business machine. It starts with signing up on platforms like useanovi.com to bulletproof your ideas before you spend money. Then you're jumping over to imiphone.com to generate your marketing videos in seconds to test your hooks. You're using noviconnect.com to make sure the AI personal shoppers at Target and Sephora are pushing your products to the top of the list. And finally, you're using myafrontdesk.com to input your customized scripts and automatically call and qualify your leads.
You track the actual conversion results, you tweak your scripts, and you watch your business grow.
It represents a massive psychological and operational shift from working in your business to truly working on your business.
By strategically utilizing these targeted AI tools, you are removing the guesswork from product development, you're removing the massive bottlenecks in content creation, and you're removing the manual draining labor from your sales pipeline.
Exactly. You are taking your time back. You now have the literal blueprint to validate your ideas without the financial risk. You can generate global multi-language video content instantly.
Yeah.
You know exactly how to bypass human marketers to get recommended by the new e-commerce algorithms, and you can automate your entire outbound sales team. The power to scale your business without scaling your stress is quite literally at your fingertips right now. You just have to decide to stop doing things the hard way.
This raises an important question that I think is deeply fascinating as we look at the long-term trajectory of these technologies. We're using tools like Novi Connect to perfectly format our product data so that AI shopping agents will select them for consumers. And earlier, we talked about using AI to do the market research to find the gaps in human demand. If AI is doing the research to find the market gaps, And AI is deciding which products to buy to fill those gaps. How long until the AI starts automatically designing and manufacturing the physical products themselves, entirely bypassing human marketers and product developers altogether? Where does human creativity actually fit into a loop where the AI is simultaneously the creator, the gatekeeper, and the consumer?
Wow, that is heavy. If the machine finds the problem and the machine buys the solution, where do we stand? That is exactly the kind of provocative question you need to be thinking about as you build the future of your business. Keep innovating, keep validating, and keep hustling. We will leave you with that to mull over.